They're gonna look and they're gonna say, wow, when it comes to the jewelry, this is the guy who introduced all the diamond and the ice and the champagne. They're gonna say when it comes to the love songs, this is the guy who introduces the love songs and all the love shit. When it comes to the bad boy vibe, they're gonna realize, oh, this is the guy who introduced all the rebellious bad boy vibes before it was done. When it comes to the GOAT terminology, they're gonna say, yo, this is the guy who came up with the GOAT stuff. They're gonna say when it comes to Def Jam, wow, this is the first artist that was on Def Jam. They're gonna say, well, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When it comes to the solo artist, gonna say, wow, this is the first solo artist to take it all the way around the world. Like, I mean, I could go on and on and on.
Yo, it's your boy Feefo 24/7 here with Dead End Hip Hop. Got the entire crew here with me. Dead End Conversations, man. Today we are talking LL Cool J. We've recently done a review. We've talked about the Hall of Fame. And here we are talking about, is LL Cool J the most important hip-hop artist ever? If you guys missed the interview, he was on a show called The Art of Dialogue, and that's where we're taking this clip from, where LL Cool J is talking about how he is, or should be, or he humbly wishes that people wake up and identify him as the most important hip-hop artist ever. Some of the things that he named was, you know, being the first solo act to take it around the world, to being the first person being signed to Def Jam. He also mentioned about the bad boy vibes, right? The love stories in hip hop. He also talked about the jewelry in hip hop, how he ushered all of those things in. So, big question out there for everybody. Is LL the most important rapper of all time?
My first question to this was, well, first, you was just like, yo, this Feefo and Dead End Hip Hop. I don't know if anybody else calls this shit.
It's David Ruffin. It's David Ruffin. That's what These are the temptations.
Right now. Like,
My bad. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
oh, man. How did this conversation come up? Like, why did he think people are not? Did he feel like disrespected? Like, where did this come from?
I don't think that LL feels like he's disrespected. I just don't think he feels that he gets all of the flowers he thinks he should be getting. Because with the flowers that he does get, he does, based off of him being the first, like a one of one, you know, we do need to be a little bit more credible in when we're mentioning his name and the things that he's accomplished for hip hop.
My thing is like, who's saying that he's not? Per se, like
no one's saying that he is.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's more so that no one's saying that he is. But if he raises the question, like, are we really questioning that?
I'm not questioning that.
Right. I
mean, when he started listing the stuff, I'm just like, yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's right. Like, yeah.
It's just because you're a pioneer. I mean, we talk about, like, people talk about what's current a lot, right? I think the only people that we really kind of go back to and kind of talk about all the time is like the Biggies and the Pacs or whatever. But he was before them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's plenty of people that don't get brought up that are very pivotal to hip hop.
Let me ask you, do you feel like Rakim and Big Daddy Kane are brought up more so than him?
I don't.
Or you think it's about equal?
I think they are.
Rakim for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I think so. Yeah, I'm about to say, I think Rakim definitely.
Nah.
You don't think Kane
not
so
as much, but he will. If you mention Rakim, you're gonna mention Kane at some point.
Yeah, KRS, you think he's mentioned?
I think KRS is getting lost in the conversation.
Chuck D.
I think Chuck D gets lost.
He can, but people will definitely mention him before they mention LL.
Yeah. I think so too.
And see, I think that's only because of the content. I mean, yeah, you know, you did a lot. I mean, you'll get brought up when you're talking about people that made music for the ladies or whatever, because I think that's what he ultimately got the most popular off of. Like, I think personally, that's what he became. Ladies love Cool J. I think that's when he really like took off in another way, because that's when he started doing like the movie stuff.
It was commercial.
It was like really commercial. I mean, he was on the radio, like you know what I'm saying. So I don't know if people talk about that when you talk about a Rakim. Oh man, you know, the lyrics or whatever, he ushered in like a certain flow and style or whatever. Not saying that LL didn't have that. It's just that I think that kind of gets overshadowed by the Ladies Love Cool J stuff.
But why should it when it didn't shadow or overshadow some of the babies that he created, like in Ja Rule and in Drake, right? Like those guys are direct babies of LL,
right?
And they didn't, and the slack that they got was very minimal.
But I feel like when they became popular for that type of content, I think LL was referenced then. I feel like he's referenced with Drake sometime. People will bring up LL.
I guess to the point that you're trying to put out there is these things are looked at LL on a negative basis. Is that
no?
So
I'm just saying they're not looked at as much as like when people talk about lyricism and party music and all that stuff. I don't think LL falls into that box. I mean, he had Headsprung and stuff like that. But again, his most iconic stuff is, Who Do You Love and all that type of stuff. Like,
But Mama Said Knock You Out is also one of his biggest songs. And that was very edgy, nigga had Mike Tyson in the video.
And what else?
Bad.
I'm Bad.
Yep.
Right, but Bad, it goes
Radio.
way back.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
All that stuff.
4, 3, 2, 1 was big.
He was rhyming.
That was
I mean,
90s,
and that's the thing. LL, he can handle A's drum, but he can also rhyme with some
Yeah.
of the elite rhymers with him. But some, I think, you look at some of the other rappers, it's like, can they really rhyme with that? Like, he went at Cannabis when Cannabis was fucking
Same
tearing
song.
shit up. You know what I'm
Same
saying?
song.
So it's like,
And we talk about that, like
Yeah.
we've talked about that, like Cannabis, and LL, like when it's necessary. It's not like LL is gonna always be in people's mouths like that. I don't know if that's what he's saying.
See, that is, like, at least that's the way I'm taking it, is that, yeah, we give him the respect, but we're not bringing him up first when we're talking, right? Like, when we're talking the basketball conversation, who's the greatest, right? There's only 2 or 3 names that get brought up first. What I'm saying is that LL's not in that conversation if we're talking about first.
You know who I think is similar, and it could be because of the TV movie stuff, is Ice-T. I mean, he did a lot too early on.
Yeah,
but
Ice-T, he ain't LL though.
I know he's not LL, but you remember when Ice-T started doing that cop stuff, people was like, I don't know, like
the music, even LL was still at least producing music,
Right.
like in the 90s and in the 2000s as well.
Yeah,
But
LL stayed more musically relevant than
Yeah.
his contemporaries.
When he transitioned to TV, and well, he said he didn't really do movies, but when he went to TV, people looked at LL and forgot about LL the rapper.
Exactly. So you get
and
what I'm saying.
that's kind of the issue that he has.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even though he had all the big hits, but his accolades are strong. Like when you hit a resume, he was like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
like, this,
Yeah,
right
he was
about
saying that. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely right.
But yeah, people don't look at him as a rapper anymore.
Exactly.
That's what happened to LL Cool J.
And that's the only reason I brought up Ice-T, because it happened to him. I'm not saying that Ice-T has done what LL has done,
But I get you.
but
I get what you're
that's
saying.
what happened to Ice-T, like when he became like the cop
But
on TV.
how many albums did Ice-T have before he really converted over to TV like that? He had less than LL.
What do you mean? What point are you trying to make right now?
So what I'm trying to say is even though Ice-T came out and people loved him for the rawness and the brashness of his music, it faded. His light faded relatively quickly in music.
Okay.
Right? Where LL, even though it may have faded because he's transitioned his career, but he always stayed tied to it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not disagreeing.
So then I don't think that it's because he transitioned into movies and stuff is the reason why we don't talk about him.
that's why. That's what you're saying.
That's what
So
I'm
you don't think you don't agree with King?
Nah, I don't agree with y'all. Because if anything, I think the TV and the movies definitely elevated his status.
But everything that came after that wasn't the same.
Here's what I'll say. There's another rapper that did the same thing, and people look at Ice Cube. Ice Cube was the same way.
Oh yeah.
We still bring up Ice Cube though when we talk about hip hop icons and legends.
Just based off them first
Yeah, off those 3 albums.
4 albums.
For
and the
whatever
EP.
reason,
Yeah.
we don't bring up LL Cool J when we're talking about hip hop history.
And I've said a lot of times, musically, before we did the Forest review, he hadn't made like a top to bottom great to classic LP since Mama Said Knock You Out.
Thank you.
And that was 1990.
Right.
Because even though he had 4, 3, 2, 1, that album was still like very mid. He had I Shot You with Prodigy and all them. That album was still pretty mid. Mr. Smith, I think that was the name of that album. Yeah. So he still had like, he was still producing albums in the 90s. It just wasn't like hitting like Mama Said Knock You Out. Mama Said Knock You Out was like that, oh shit, that was it. And then after
that was right at 90.
That was right at 90.
Before that, it was Walking with the Panther.
Walking with the Panther.
89.
89, yeah.
89, bro.
Yep.
Think about that.
Nigga, I was 5 years old.
Bigger and Deffer.
But he still had, I mean, he was still
87.
dropping like hits, singles.
No, he was,
He just didn't
but-
have good albums.
Yeah, albums.
Right.
And,
But like, the Who Do You
exactly.
Love joint was big in '95, bro.
Exactly.
Like that shit was big. That shit with
Right.
Boyz II Men
Yep,
was big.
yep.
Like he was dropping hits throughout the '90s. He just didn't have like
Them
the
albums
the
got
actual
shaky.
albums. Yeah,
Like people that probably
Mama-
don't even know the name of the album. They
exactly.
just remember the
They
hit
just know the
records.
song. They just know the songs.
So that-
the songs
that-
was bigger than the albums.
Yeah, I think, as time went on, it's just kind of, we just known him more for those hits and stuff that he was on.
The question is, it's a crazy statement to say.
Most important doesn't mean you're the greatest.
I know.
Yeah, because he said in that video, he was like, "I'm not saying I'm the GOAT, only when I'm rapping." But like he said, I'm
Which
not
is a
going.
crazy
He said,
statement.
he said, I'm not going to knock like if someone said Nas is the GOAT, or if someone said Pac is the GOAT, because he said that person is subjective. He said it's still subjective. That person meant a lot to them for the reason saying that. So he's not going. But he said when I'm rapping, like yeah, I'm gonna say I'm the GOAT. He said the same way as you playing basketball. Like yeah, I'm the best. So
He's a most important rapper. That's a hell of a statement. Most important rapper of all time.
did that sound like? Does it? I feel like when I was listening to it, watching that L video, I'm like, man, this is gonna be Soulja Boy like 25 years later. Saying, I'm the most important social media rapper. Or
I feel
some
like
shit
he
like
already
that.
say that.
No,
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like he's gonna be like older, and he's gonna be like, man.
But
I think he's gonna look back
he
and
has
say,
a point, though.
yeah, I'm the
Like,
most. Like so when
one?
I saw that
Soulja?
LL, yeah,
LL definitely feels slighted.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
He
does.
He feels slighted because he was the first to walk through the fire and
Yeah.
be successful.
Yeah.
And lay a blueprint. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of y'all to follow some of these moves that I've made. You know what I'm saying? Like I 100% agree with the most important because he had to knock down a whole
Wait,
bunch of doors.
the most, like we're talking about
The most important.
The most
You know
important.
why, Ken? Because he had everything that a rapper would want. He had the lyrics, he had the streets, he had the
girls,
ladies.
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
He had the
And-
trifecta.
exactly. And he was the biggest at a time in all three of those phases.
maybe Big Daddy Kane was probably the closest to had a trifecta.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
ladies love Big Daddy Kane
Yeah,
too.
yeah, they
he was
did.
like the closest that had the trifecta. Not many rappers in the '80s, late '80s, had the trifecta. You either had lyrics, bam, that's it, or you had the ladies, no lyrics. Some like you had, but LL had the trifecta.
And the
back.
crazy,
everything.
the
And
crazy
he-
part, you had to, you still respect him.
You still respect? That's what I said.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
want to go
you're
test
right.
LL.
Yeah,
you
you're
want to go be like, oh yeah, I got him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep,
no.
yep. And then he went global with it, Ken.
Yeah.
Global. We're talking about knocking down doors and creating business revenue streams that people wasn't even thinking about at the time. You know what I'm saying? So like what he said with Kango. Think about, bro.
Yeah, I was
as a
about to
kid,
mention. I was about to mention that. Rod and Ken, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel the clothing, the Kango. I feel like was Run DMC with Adidas. I feel like that was fucking big too.
It was.
Like Adidas
Yeah.
was like synonymous with Run DMC.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I guess that was around the same time as L. Because I'm like, was Run DMC first with Adidas? Because I just remember everybody was rocking Adidas because of Run DMC.
He made the Kango hot, but
He did, and I'm thinking about Adidas.
Run DMC with what he
Bruh.
did with Adidas,
No,
man. That-
100% because they had the song and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody was getting shell toes,
bro. Yes.
Exactly. But yeah, well, basically with the Kango hat, man, like I saw that and all I knew was LL Cool J. I didn't know
You didn't
what
know
the
what
fuck the
nothing-
name
anything
was.
else.
You know, especially back then because we didn't have social media. Commercials were relatively.
So you were like, oh, that's the L Cool J hat.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
that's LL Cool J.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where only today have we really seen somebody take over like an imprint or do something. It's like the Travis Scott Jordan ones. Like I could see the colorway and be like, oh, that's Travis Scott. Like it supersedes the brand itself.
I just think that there needs to be additional context to that statement.
To being the most
The
important.
most important rapper of all time, because people can easily look at
Easily.
Rakim, bro.
Most important though,
How is it like? But
Yes,
I don't
he
know.
literally changed the way hip hop is done.
no, 100% stylistically.
Yeah.
But However, he didn't usher in all of these deals from a business perspective.
He said the most important. That's why I think we need additional context to that statement.
But I think he added the context.
He did, because he's basically saying
That's
it's all encompassing. It's not just one. It's not just the raps. It's the jewelry.
He can
It's
go
the
on and
swag.
on.
It's the ladies.
He can go on
It's
and on, like
it's
you
the
said.
bad boy vibe. It's Ken. What LL Cool J is
No.
saying is that he was the total fucking product, the first one.
He
that
didn't
we've ever
change
seen.
hip hop, bro.
But he set the foundation for everything that hip hop is doing.
He can't change it if he was the first one in the motherfucker. like outside of
You
Melly
can be the
Mel
most
and all
important without being the first. Yeah.
You can be.
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah,
saying that
Jordan? Come on, man.
Well, that's actually I was just about to
Well,
go with
here's
it. I
the
was
thing,
like,
Ken,
just like Michael Jordan.
He's not like the absolute first, right? He was the first one to really take it to another level.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Like Melly Mel and Curtis Blow was Bill Russell, and like LL is the Michael
Michael
Jordan. He just took that shit to another level.
Yep. Took it global.
I'm just giving an example.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Michael Jordan?
Yes.
yeah.
I know it's an example, but it still
Yeah,
sounds crazy as
It
fuck.
sounds crazy, but
To say
then
that
later-
LL Cool J
hold
is
on.
Michael
So
Jordan.
Melly Mel and them
Baby
were,
Julie's
were,
early.
were Bill Russell. LL was Magic and Bird. Like they brought. Oh shit! The
Credibility,
NBA
so-
is now
Yeah,
can
it's
be
credible.
Okay,
That's what
okay.
that's what he was the
And
Magic.
Rakim was Dr. J. Because he had style.
Yeah.
Dr. J is Harold. We're not taking credit away from Rakim, but he's more Dr. J.
Who the fuck is Jordan?
Jordan would be like
Tupac or Drake or
Tupac,
Biggie.
Tupac or Big or whatever.
those guys.
Yeah.
Because they've taken it.
Wu-Tang.
Well, I would even say
Wu-Tang or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
all of them. Like
Yeah.
it could. That's another debate.
Yeah, LL could be like the Magic and Bird. Like, oh shit.
Okay, I can. That sounds better.
Because they more important if you look at it. Because look where the NBA was at before shit was on tape delay.
Right.
Once Magic and Bird got there,
They handed the mantle to Jordan.
Because they set up the foundation.
Yep.
Hey, this
That's basically what
this how you
LL
do
has
the deals.
done.
This
Yep.
is what you say
Yep.
no to.
Yep.
This and right here. Yeah, hell yeah.
Who trying to be like LL, bro?
We can honestly say Jay-Z. From a business perspective, now I think Jay took it to the highest level of business in hip hop. But bro, like a lot of think about where Jay was, right, in terms of upping brands and then getting his own. Like he did that with
I don't know
DJ.
how many rappers. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but what I am saying is I don't hear it often. Where people say, "Man, yeah, man, you know, LL was a big influence on me rapping wise and all."
even dudes
But
our
then you're only
age.
talking about rapping though.
Yeah.
I don't hear them saying they influenced
business.
by gold chains and all the other stuff.
They may not realize it. Go ahead.
But that's the issue that LL's having.
yeah.
That's the issue because Ken, as OG,
It's the issue he's having because. Oh, nah, because y'all make me shit on
Okay.
LL.
No,
Okay,
man,
no,
go
no,
ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
Because
Yeah, rapping with his shirt off. How many rappers do that?
Yep.
Tupac did
Too
it.
many.
Lil Wayne did it, but who did it first?
Yeah, who did it first? Mama said knock you out.
LL
Before that.
on the bad, on the
Before
bad,
that.
video.
On bad.
on the
Before
bad.
that.
I take a muscle bound man and step like that.
he had muscles. He had muscles. Now y'all got Rick Ross doing it.
I'm just
But
saying.
still,
It was
hey,
still there.
it was there,
He
right?
made, he
It could
made
be
it a
detrimental
thing,
too.
Ken.
It
was there, bro.
And LL made a lot
DMX.
of things that people don't necessarily realize came from LL, or LL made popular, or LL broke this door down first. And that's all LL is trying to say.
So when Pac was making that video and he said, "I'm gonna take my shirt off like LL."
Oh, I bet you he
was influenced by
I
it.
bet you so. I bet you,
Absolutely.
yeah.
100%.
That's why Pac
Gold
won.
chains.
Yep,
all
he
that.
knew he had to get the
Pac
ladies.
won that trifecta.
Take off this
Yep.
shirt.
Pac won the trifecta. I'm pretty sure other rappers from that era was like, they look at L like, shit, yeah, that's a blueprint I would like to follow.
Look,
you know?
let's be honest. Is 50 Cent not really? He's a baby of LL Cool J. Especially you
no
look
one.
at Get Rich or Die Trying, Ken. That whole album, for the most part, is hard as hell. Where do you think 21 Questions come from? That's a LL that's a LL playbook.
He
right
had to
there.
get
We may
that, bro.
not say it, but it's there.
Yeah.
And that's what he's saying.
And that's what he's saying, is that all of these modern contemporary classics, or, you know, hood classics or whatever, they all have LL Cool J DNA
Can we
all
do
over
this?
them.
Go ahead.
And just think of the formula that Puffy gave Biggie. Like, yeah, you're gonna have your hard joints, but we want We want the ladies in the radio
Yep.
first. We got to
Where
get
that came
that
from,
first.
Ken?
You know what I'm saying?
Where that came from?
I got a question.
Yeah.
Was there a 1 in front of the?
Oh,
Did
when he say
Yeah, did he say definitively, I am the most important
He
rapper,
said
not
definitively.
one of?
Nah, he
we
said-
need a
No,
one of, bro.
He said the.
Nah.
we need a one of.
So who
bro.
else then?
Rakim could be
no.
one. We can start adding the
Nah,
list.
Rakim-
because you
not
know
it.
what? Yeah, and I agree with Rob because Rakim is mentioned in terms of ushering in modern hip hop, but we're talking about
He's mentioned
straight
more than
rhyme-
LL.
but straight rhyme style, nothing else. There's nothing else that he really influenced.
So
What do you mean? But you can't be the most important if all you
yes,
did
you
was
can.
influence
If you
was one thing.
if you are directly responsible for keeping hip hop
He is,
alive,
bruh.
yes.
He is, bruh. Even today, rappers now, you got to do like more than one thing. You can't just be like, when rappers want to kind of, what's that word I'm looking for? Like kind
Break out.
of brand themselves and stuff. Like, that's all from LL.
not Rakim.
That all from LL. They don't think of Rakim when they think, oh man, I want to do this or tap in and do something else.
you know who did more for hip hop than Rakim, Ken?
I don't even want to hear what you got to say
Master P.
right now.
Master P.
He did more for
Master
hip-hop.
P.
Like how?
See, I
Because he
told you.
broke
I
down a
tried.
whole bunch of doors. Whatever, Ken.
What doors?
You know, shit.
I just wanna know.
Him,
Deals is his main thing.
deals like business.
He contributed. He was a major contributor.
Okay,
People talk
more
about
so than
Master P.
Rakim.
Yeah, he
More
yeah.
so than Rakim.
No,
Yes,
this
Rakim,
is blasphemy, bro.
Rakim brought in the modern era of rapping. That's it.
That is so dismissive.
What else? Then,
It's so
Ken?
Bro,
dismissive.
that is
But you have the
that
floor.
is
But you have the floor.
insane.
You have the floor to defend Rakim.
Yeah, what's your defense?
I
Besides
don't-
rapping.
I don't understand how
I can
just
say,
that
I
one
can say
thing.
Coogee rap. Is,
Huh?
You talk about as far as rapping and what. If you just talking about rapping ability,
Yeah, when did he come out?
came out 89,
Right,
88,
right.
89.
You know, but I hear Rakim more. I'm not
KRS?
saying that LL doesn't have a claim. I agree. I just don't think he should be the absolute sole person, like number one.
I think-
sounds
He
crazy.
should be number one. But if you want to put other people on the list, that's fine too. It's just LL should be number one, and it should be damn near unquestioned.
No, it's
Damn near.
it should be
I think you're just looking at it from a rapping ability.
Yeah,
No, I
You're weighting that
just
very
think
heavy.
that
I'm looking at the total package.
Yep.
Total
I think
package,
that-
you can't get mad at it.
if I'm trying to think of like R&B, when somebody just came in and completely changed the sound of music, something that completely revolutionized it and kept it around and kept it important and relevant to the point where this is more than just an A-B rhyme style. This is pure art poetry. It created and made it important. And I think that's what he was able to do, he being Rakim. I think what LL was able to do along with Run DMC, y'all giving it all the credit to LL. Let's not forget Run DMC had a lot to do
mentioned
with the
I
commercial.
mentioned it with the
I know you
quote,
did,
yeah.
with the commercialization of hip hop as well.
No, 100%.
All right, and no, so
But he
who
said
had
as
more-
a solo though.
Yeah, I'm about to say, but then he clarifies that as a solo.
as a solo artist. He said as a solo artist,
as a
he's
solo
the most
artist,
important.
and who had more deals throughout their career. Because we know Run DMC for the Adidas. What else did they do, Ken?
hey man, you don't have to do everything.
And then was Rakim able to stay as relevant as LL later on in his career?
They didn't transition.
Yeah, but that relevancy also is why we talking about him now.
Exactly.
And why he was forgotten.
But he was able to reinvent himself.
Yeah. From
Like-
the
like
80s
from the
to the
80s
90s to the 2000s.
2000s.
Yeah.
Like
Even
Head,
though
like Headsprung, like Headsprung was a big hit for him.
whack album, but it was a huge hit.
Right,
it was a big
whack
hit.
album, but big hit. Like
And he did that in the 90s.
Man,
had,
yeah, it's-
had hits.
Mama said, "Knock you out." That was later.
Yeah.
Like
bruh.
it's. He doesn't sound crazy.
He doesn't.
Nah.
He doesn't.
The reason why he doesn't is because he has so many things that he has done where there's so many other artists that have contributed to hip hop history, not as much as LL. Not to dismiss anybody else's contributions to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if they're big or small, you can't tell the history of hip hop without mentioning all of these people. But LL is one of the first, you know what I'm saying, that we would have to mention in terms of the commercialization of hip hop, in terms of making it bigger than life, in terms of all of those.
Well, next time we have a conversation, you bring his ass up then. How about that?
Well, how about you bring up Rakim?
We don't have to because we talk about him.
Okay.
That's kind of also the point.
And all I'm saying is
that LL has.
In terms of this conversation, bring up more than just him changing how people rock.
The fact that you just that away like this just means
I'm not shishing that away.
Is crazy.
What I'm saying is that is just a dustpan to LL's broom.
I ain't never heard anybody say, "Hey man, when I heard Mama said knock you out, hey, woo." I hear people say, "Man, when I heard that,
100%.
hey, I wanted to rap like that."
But
you know, it is what it is,
and that's fine. And that's fine. LL has so many other things that he brought to the table that people are eating in 2025 and beyond because of what
and maybe the commercialization of LL. You know, maybe people also didn't want to do that. You know, because how at some point later on in the 90s, you know, it started to look a little whack, regardless of how big the songs were.
So just kind of like running it down down the stretch. You feel that LL should be top 3, but there should be other people on the list.
I feel like he has a claim. I just don't think he should be the singular person that
being the most important
owns it.
hip-hop.
I think it should be one of.
I don't necessarily 100% disagree with that. I just think regardless of whoever else we put on the list, LL's still number 1, regardless of whoever else we put.
Yeah, I think
He's the most important. What the hell he trying to play word games?
Hey, I'm just scribbling over your picture, bro. That's all.
I mean, he was listening to facts, bro. I was like, yeah. Like I said, the only thing I was thinking, like, man, Adidas. I was like, man, was Adidas and that around the same time in the Kango? I'm like, man, Adidas was big, Run DMC. But other than that, I was like, I mean, he's kind of right. I have no issue with what he's saying. Him being the most important. He didn't say he's the best. He said he was the most important.
Big difference.
It's okay, Ken. It's all right.
Modest what?
How you feel?
Modest media.
Yeah, Modest Media.
If it's not him, then who? That's my question.
Yeah.
It's not Rakim. And I'm not saying that as a diss to Rakim, because we all know what Rakim did here on this hip hop channel. We all know what Rakim did here on this channel, and we do bring him up because we are big on lyrics and things like that style.
Ice-T.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Ice-T or whatever. But I just think LL doesn't get brought up here because that's not the type of channel we are. That's not the type of like the type of music he makes isn't typically what we like majority here. Like, you know what I'm saying, the music for the ladies and things like that. We can acknowledge it and say that it's good and it's commercial and all that.
Except for that new album though. Force.
Except the Force. Like, yeah, the Force is good.
Shit.
But like if you look at everything that he listed off, that's what every rapper, not every rapper, but most rappers who want commercial success aspire to be.
Yes.
When it comes
They
to
look at
movie
that.
deals, when it comes to brand deals, when
Yep.
it comes to
He's the
shoes. Like he said, he even brought up Troops and fucking like,
Bro,
like dog, I
yeah.
forgot about that.
That's standard, bro.
Like, yeah, it is.
He was
the
a standard. He was
So
a standard.
yeah, you think about all that. People today still want to do that. And real talk, Ken, you have people that don't really care to do what Rakim did. They just want to make hit records. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think he is the most important rapper of all time. I agree with him. I don't know who else is. I mean, because, yeah, I could say Jay because of everything he's done, but you still got to go through LL.
Yeah.
You can say Pac, but
You still got to go through LL.
what blueprint, what standard he followed?
Right.
The trifecta.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, Ken, but it's true, man.
Yeah.
It's true.
Look, do you sound crazy how we sound crazy? Because I know we can sound a little out there sometimes. We jump out the window with some of our theories. But look, do you disagree or do you agree with LL Cool J? Is he the most important rapper of all time? Let us know how you feel in the comment section below. You know what I'm gonna say. The conversation after the conversation is in the comment section. So like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next Day of Hip Hop conversation.